This week on the Face Off Hockey Show, I'm back in a cold place. The inner reaches of my mind. We have a lot of injuries. We have a lot of things going on. The Global Series is back. Dennis Weidman is exonerated. And the NHL player poll. All that and more in the bag. It's Face Off Hockey Show coming up right now.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
a breakaway. Take 2 3 yards. There we go.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes.
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Hey, everybody. Apparently, there's a live Q&A with Patreon CEO Jack Conte. So if you're around at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, get all up on. By the way, do we have to really decipher daylight time and daylight and standard time anymore? Can we just say it's Eastern time or Pacific time? We all change our clocks or have our clocks change for us on our phones.
Well, it depends if people still have old school watches or not.
That's true.
I mean, I don't have to change anything anymore. All of my watches are tied to satellites and such.
Satellite,
except for the Cube that still has a tape player in my room that wakes me up in the morning.
Well, that makes sense. Is it daylight savings time this week, or does it change
Sunday?
Okay. And we go ahead.
Sunday we bring forward.
Okay. So I only have to work 7 hours. Is what you're telling me? Good.
I hope that's how it works.
I think so. Fall back, spring forward. I've worked both time changes this year. I don't know if that's weird or not.
I feel like you should have to, though. I mean, isn't that technically the only way you get 8 hours in both times?
If you work 9 hours and then work 7 hours?
You work 9 hours in the fall and you work 7 hours in the spring, so you end up with an average of 8.
Yeah, but you get one extra. You get one overtime, and they have to take one PTO hour. At least in our work, I don't know how it works actually. I don't want to.
So random,
right? So yeah, I'm back in North Dakota. We got in last night. Snow. Ugh.
How was the trip back?
That was fine.
Let's start with your week.
Yeah, let's start with my week. We got delayed 35 minutes in Minneapolis and like 20 minutes in Minneapolis. 30 minutes in Baltimore to Minneapolis, and then 20 minutes in Minneapolis to Grand Forks. So it wasn't terrible.
It's not terrible.
No, we got home and Cat remembered who we are, I think.
Has it attacked anyone yet?
No. Well, yes, but no. Yeah, he's back to his normal self, essentially. But we went to this week was pretty fun. We went to obviously the hockey game. And then all three, me, you, and Jen went out skating.
We did go skating.
And then Jen and I went duck pin bowling that Sunday night. And then
none of us fell either.
No,
not a single one of us. No.
A couple times,
even with kids falling in front of us like they were bombs.
Yeah, it was close call. Close call.
I even stopped one time. I was surprised myself.
There you go. This was after we realized, hey, there is an alumni game, but you have to pay X amount of dollars. Or no, you had to win an auction in order to auction off prizes for this outdoor alumni game at Navy Marine Corps Stadium. We'll talk about the stadium series in a bit. And yeah, we went duck pin bowling that Sunday night, and then Monday we went to the ocean. First time Jen went to the ocean, and it's the happiest I've ever seen her. It's fantastic. So yeah,
maybe she just needs to live near the ocean.
I think she needs to live where we can actually do things. She needs to live in a place where we actually do things.
I mean, we could stand beside the ocean.
Exactly, and leave the world behind.
Yeah.
No,
swim
by the way,
past the breaker.
let's stop right there because Art Alexakis is a terrible fucking DJ. He has a show on XM on the Lithium channel. Oh, he is god terrible. Oh, is he fucking awful. XM will give everybody a radio show except us.
Well, they tried to give us a radio show at one point as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not like we've pitched ourselves recently, so.
No, and then the NHL. Well, I don't think I wouldn't want to get in at this point either.
Well, anyway. The NHL won't even respond to me anymore. So.
No, you're still requested. But I checked today. And I took a screenshot. You're still requested to have credentials for Saturday's game. Perfect.
We should email him and ask if I can go.
Tell you should have just went down and showed up.
Yeah, that was too much effort.
Okay, well then.
Like I'm past the point of caring. I mean, I care, right? I care because it sucks balls that like the NHL can't even respond to somebody who wants to cover the sport. But if you can't even take the time to respond to somebody who wants to cover the sport, it's not worth my time to drive down there to be like, I want to come to this game. I slept on the couch.
You did. You didn't even know there was a power outage.
I recorded the game and didn't know that there was a power outage because I was sleeping the entire third period.
And you wouldn't have watched the last part anyway because NBC cut the game to NBCSN with 4 minutes left in the game.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I heard rumors that DC NBC stayed with the game, and I was watching the DC NBC station, so I may actually have the end of the game. I'm not sure. I haven't watched.
I was going to say, were you watching on that, or were you watching on Channel 11? Because if you're watching on Channel 11, they cut the local news, and you see Stan Stovall right there.
Well, no. So Channel 11 didn't have a pregame, but the DC 16 did have a pregame. So I recorded the DC 16 one so I could get part of the pregame as well.
Nice. Oh, this also came in the mail this week for me. Baltimore Blades program.
Nice.
1974-75 played only 19 games as they moved from Michigan from the Michigan Stags. Yeah, and it is tremendous. It's like just all the old ads. Call the Hamden man for moving and storage.
They're fake and they're glorious.
There's William Donald Schaefer saying it's great to have the World Hockey Association here.
They're real and they're glorious.
They're real and they're fantastic, sir. An old Natty Boh ad with the actual like keg and cask of beer.
Wow, look at that glass.
Look at that. Fantastic.
Is that on a rock?
It looks like on a brick. On brick. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. So I got that, and that's for the project that I'll never see.
I did come home from work on Tuesday. There was some Coke left over in my house, so that was cool.
Yeah. Well, gotta keep it real. Like I can't put this on a flight. It's funny.
Yeah, you definitely can't fly with cans. So
no.
And yogurt too.
Yeah, and
yogurt. I hate yogurt, even with strawberries.
Jen's my luggage came in at 48 pounds. Jen's luggage came in at exact 50 pounds, so we didn't have to shift anything around.
I mean, you could have taken the bag of seashells and put them in your bag instead of hers.
Could have, but we didn't. So there we go. We got under the weight. Everything's back, and we're good to go.
That's great.
How about your week, sir? I know most of your week.
So a lot of my week was with Scotty. I went to Cracker Barrel. I haven't been to Cracker Barrel in a long time. I went with Stan and Barb. We went out as a family to Cracker Barrel, and I got some Oreos. Scotty Waz and Jen picked up some Oreos for me from Kettler, and I got what else? A t-shirt. I was going to wear the t-shirt this week, and then it snowed, and my house is like 58 degrees again. So I was like, I think I'm going to hold off some. But pretty slick, a 3-stripe life t-shirt, as it should be. So yeah. So I missed out on the bowling. I've been bowling. So I decided against going. I decided sleep was a better option.
And it was also way past your bedtime.
It was very, very past my bedtime. It was like you guys weren't even leaving till 8 p.m.
And let's be honest, our muscles hurt a lot.
Well,
we-
yeah.
Ugh.
My feet hurt for a while. My feet hurt the next day from the skates. It took my feet a little bit of time to break into the skates,
Mhm.
or the skates break in my feet. I don't know which way it works, but
It's 6 and 1/2 dozen another.
yeah. But long story short, I had an old pair of CCM Tacks, like literally the original pair of CCM Tacks, and I hadn't worn them for a while. Mark wore them from time to time when he skated out, and he was skating out for one of the games, and I believe he stepped into the skate before the game. It might have been before the game or maybe after the game, but one of the rivets popped through the bottom of the skate, and that's pretty much the end of skates, from what I'm told. So that sucked because that boot fit me perfectly. Like that skate was amazing. But so Mark bought new skates for me. New skates that are 5 years old now, and this is the first time I've worn them. Is when we went out on Sunday to skate. So tried them on. They seem to fit fine. After skating for a little bit, they're a little narrow in the heel-ish area and the arch-ish area. My feet started hurting real bad, but they didn't go numb, which is good. Then after a while, they started feeling okay and got used to it and skated around like a champ. Didn't fall at all. I was taking pictures of Scotty and Jen and editing them on my phone, which is effectively like driving and texting at the same time, I think.
Especially with little kids around.
Yeah. There were a lot of people. A lot of people there. Especially at like $8 a pop or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's how Piney Orchard's building that second rink.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, outside of that, I had to go to work this week. Scotty is just getting back to work later, I believe.
Tomorrow night.
But yeah, work is going well. I got my first paycheck. That's nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I guess I'm a true employee.
There you go. You did it.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I got going on.
Nice.
So.
Nice. Yeah, Mark will join us later. Now for the people on Team Podcast, we're starting an hour earlier than our usual time.
Half hour.
Half hour? Yeah, half hour earlier. That's what I meant.
It's an hour and a half earlier for you now.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to do the math and carry the one. So yeah, no, we're doing this a half hour earlier, and then that means Mark will show up at 6:30ish, and then we'll have a crossover with Mark and Lyle together. Which, in all honesty, kind of makes sense a little bit. So we'll see how it works. We'll storyboard it. We'll see how it goes. We'll stir it to the wall, see if it sticks. If it doesn't, who gives a shit? Not me.
Sure, that's our show.
Yeah, essentially, we can do whatever we want. We could piss on the ceiling if we wanted to. I don't know why we would do that. That seems like it'd be verbad.
I feel like that's really hard too.
Yeah, you know what? When you put it out that way, you're not wrong.
I mean, you have to get some good pressure behind it in order to pee on a ceiling.
Yeah, that's true. Or if the ceiling, if you get it, like if you raise, anyway. Listen,
how did Todrick pee butts like the Glen Burnie studio? Did he see it at all?
He did. He saw. He didn't see it. I shut the video off on that because it kind of kills our bandwidth. A little bit. Let's just a wee bit. So yeah, no, like he said, it sounded good. He said it sounded fantastic. It sounded like we knew what we were doing. And I told him,
nice.
You're a liar.
Took me 16 years.
Right. So yeah, he enjoyed that, and I think I'm supposed to do something with him tomorrow. I don't know. He hasn't gotten back to me. So.
All right.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with him? We asked him to do an intro for us like 2 or 3 months ago, and he still hasn't done it yet for the Soderstrom bubble. You know, radio people are weird, man. So.
Oh well.
Yeah. That is that then. All right. Well.
Play music.
Yeah, play music.
Just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
Boy howdy, there's a lot of injuries and a lot of significant ones at that, especially right off the Hooskow. Brock Besser fractured vertebrae, 4 to 6 weeks. Now,
that's going to destroy his rookie of the year.
kind of. So it sounds bad, but apparently, from what Jen was saying, that it's just apparently on each vertebrae has like a little teeny thing, like a little like plug-in on the side
like
of it.
Plug and play.
Yeah, it's like a plug and play, like a little USB port, like 3 on the outside of the vertebrae.
Yeah.
So he chipped one of those. He broke one of those when he was trying to hip check Kyle Clutterbuck. Kyle Clutterbuck got the best of him, and then the door was open, and his back went into the open door.
Oh, that hurts.
So it was not fun. I'm sure.
Shoulder pads don't really have like back support either, do they?
No, but pants do. Like the pants have you have a part in the back where
but that only catches your lower back, really, right?
And that's where he hit. He hit in his lower back.
All right.
He hit like ass first. So like there either it shifted when he was moving, or he just caught it right. It looked bad news bears. So, I mean, there's that. So he is out.
Is that like grow back? Like how do you fix that?
It fuses back together like a broken bone. The only thing is he can't do shit for Shinola for the next few weeks.
Does somebody have to go in and like put it back in with some super glue?
No, I don't think so. They can, but he'll be out longer. He'd be at like 6. He'd be out for longer term at that point.
Longer term.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
that.
Sucks. Also, Sven Varchi, separated shoulder. He is done for the season for your Canucks. So that sucks for him. What did I do? I'm trying to. By the way, rotation could be like the worst possible thing if you don't remember to turn it back off. So
rotation,
like on your phone.
Rotation, splash.
Set rotation splash. So yeah, Sven Varchi done for the season. We're going to see a lot of guys coming up here with the done for the season ski because it's towards the end of the month or towards the end of the year, and these teams are out of the playoff spot. Mark Scheifele, however, his team is not. He's got an upper body injury. He's day to day, but aren't we all?
The Jets are good. I saw them play this week.
Jets are very good. I think, this season. Jets are very good, and one of our Patreon picks. The Patreon pick was tied this week, and we'll talk more about the Patreon pick here in a second after we've done the injuries. We'll talk about one of the subjects with Lyle because I think he would have nice input about that.
A broken up Patreon pick this week.
It's a little chopski on that, and I put it up late, so that's my fault. But I was traveling all day yesterday, and fuck you. Charlie McAvoy, I love you, Patreon people, you know that. Charlie McAvoy sprained MCL. He's out 4 weeks. He's had a rough rookie season. I mean, he's been very good, but I mean, with the blood clot situation and now with the sprained MCL, was it
heart attack
in the heart? I think it was. He did have heart problems. It wasn't a blood clot. Someone else, Chris Kreider, had a blood clot. Charlie,
I was just making a major.
I know. Who had heart attack? Me. There's that. Ben Bishop, lower body injury. He's day to day. Aren't we all? Mike McKenna was called up, so he might be a little bit more than day to day. Luke Kunin of the Minnesota Wild tore his ACL. He is done for 7 months. So
that puts him out of the beginning of next season.
He'd probably just be getting clearance towards the end of training camp, beginning of the season.
Wow. That's rough. Mark knows what it feels like to tear an ACL.
Twice.
Well, he wanted to see how it felt again the second time.
Sure. Well, no, he's like, well, it has to recover faster the second time, right? It doesn't. Mac Pacioretty, knee injury, 4 to 6 weeks, thus ending his season with the Montreal Canadiens in a season which he was full, just no help, full just trade rumors and stuff like that. Fun times.
Sadly, Sadly, even though he's hurt, this probably is the best thing for him.
Oh, you're kidding me? He doesn't have to deal with that. The team is sinking as it is.
Is that your new Under Armour sweatshirt also?
It is my new Under Armour hockey sweatshirt, and
Nice.
I got new pants on too. I got new shorts. Got my Maryland Terrapins basketball shorts, yellow, all yellow, everything.
Are those your Zubaz pants on behind you?
No, these are. This is my Maryland Crab hoodie that's doubles as a seat warmer. So, and apparently these shorts really make my bulge look nice, ladies.
That's good.
Problem is no pockets, so I can't wear these out in the town.
What?
I know, right? Oh, because they're actual like.
Well, they're game shorts, right?
Yeah, they're game shorts. So why would
That
you
makes
have pockets in game shorts?
That makes sense. I have soccer shorts that don't have pockets. I feel like when you wear shorts like that don't have pockets, that you need like a fanny pack or something.
A little bit.
Like you need something. Or sometimes I wear a jacket. Like sometimes I'll just wear a jacket so that I have pockets.
There you go. But yeah, no.
You
Apparently,
should have bought a Maryland flag fanny pack while you were in Ocean City.
I know. A lot of stores weren't open. Although now I regret. I'm thinking to myself, like, was there the one store that was open? Did they have it? I regret it.
I'll see if I can find one. It can't be that hard.
Yeah, find one that'll fit my way.
I mean, Annapolis has an all Maryland store.
Yeah. I tell you what, I tried Route 1. Route 1 has Route 1 is fucking expensive for that.
Where on Route 1?
The actual apparel store.
Oh well, yeah, they are expensive.
They're expensive as shit, and half their stuff doesn't fit me.
They've become mainstream. That's what it is. Like they were cool at first, and then they were like, "Oh, all these people want Maryland stuff," and then they jacked up all the prices, and
then jacked up all the prices, made the sizing weird, and then not realize, oh yeah, by the way, everybody else can make Maryland stuff too. So.
Right.
But back to Pacioretty, 4.5 next year. I can see him getting traded in the offseason.
That's fine.
Get the captaincy off him. Let him die. Let the Canadians die in a waste.
But the Canadians as a whole,
just as a whole. They also have that Shea Weber deal that extends until 2025, I think.
That was a good trade, though.
That was a great trade. Jay Bouwmeester, he is not hip because his hip is done. He is done for the season as well. So there you go, kids. All the fun stuff fit to print. Like we mentioned, Patreon pick. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join our Patreon, patreon.com/faceoffhockeyshow. We got some tings and some stuff. And some tings and some stuff. You can go ahead and enjoy yourself. We appreciate everybody there, including Brian, Damon, Mark.
There's still a pint glass down here.
Cool. Brian, Damon, Mark, Trista, Matthew, Ethan, Chris, Mitch, Angela, and Sean are all our patrons. You can be a patron too. Patreon.com/faceoffhockeyshow. I think that pint glass is actually Jen's water. Is it on top of the fridge?
Yeah, it's a harp glass.
Yeah, that's her water that she put up there before she left for her thing.
All right. Well, I found it.
Cool.
Surprisingly enough, the two shortest people decided that they were going to put a pint glass on top of the refrigerator.
You guys are genius. I'm not going to lie to you. So the Patreon, the topics this week for the Patreon, we do a Patreon pick. That's one of the awards. You can check that out. So the two topics we had were the death of the outdoor game and undercovered scorers of the NHL. I think the undercovered scorers of the NHL is something we can leave with Lyle because he would know more. Because let's be honest, guys like Braden or Braden Point and or is it Hayden Point? I think it's Braden Point. Braden Point and like Patrick Laine. Like Laine has got like 30 some goals this year, almost 40. Undercovered in the NHL.
Undercovered? You mean like not covered enough, like not marketed enough. And not like
yes.
Gotcha.
Outside of their home area. National.
Yes.
A broader scope. The other one was Death of the Outdoor Games. So let's get to Death of the Outdoor Games because there are some tings and some... Oh, breaking news. David Backes was suspended 3 games for a hit on Franz Nielsen of the Red Wings. So There you
Yeah.
go.
It's probably still because of that "Take Me Out" song that he did.
Yeah, I think so. You know, he also started the First World War.
It's true. That is true.
So I
True.
think those two combined together really.
That's why a
really
true
picture-
American like Bacchus went after him.
Well, Inglorious Bacchus, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's the guy who goes after everybody. Yeah, that was rough. Hey, it's rivalry night. Hey, it's Flyers and Penguins. Hey, who gives a shit? So
I would pay money right now to watch the Flyers and Penguins play in the first round of the playoffs.
it'd be great, wouldn't it? So the Les Capitals took on the Les Maple Leafs in the outdoor game in Annapolis this weekend. If you're scoring at home or even if you're alone, the Washington Capitals slapped with their penises the Maple Leafs 5-2. I don't think that actually.
It's amazing though
Exactly.
how they were able to see them on the ice.
That's my God. Like that was absurd. Am I the only one to think that's absurd? That they're my. Ugh. See if I
Well,
can bring up-
so there was a picture. There like the picture of like that we're taken with cameras and such, like at the game. You can barely pick up the Maple Leafs on the ice anyway. Like it actually helped that the ice was off white.
Yes.
So that you could see the white Maple Leafs. Like you could see them when they crossed lines. It's kind of like there's like old video games where the colors were all the same.
Yeah.
So like you would just see like a car when it crossed a line or something.
So let's go to a Scotty screen share. So here is a look. This is a professional camera. Sporting News put this out of the Maple Leafs and the Capitals.
But
From
that's a close up.
That's a close up, and it's still hard to see number 24 in the background and all his stuff. Like he kind of blends in a little. Like these things, like these were day glow. I mean, it was absurd how bright they were. And you're right, the off-colored ice was probably the best thing that ever happened to this game.
I think Jen's joke was the best though.
That they
Where
were
she
kids
was
of Sean Leahy.
Well, that was fantastic. And if I would have thought of it myself, I would have tweeted that out because
Oh,
that
I
was amazing.
In the press box, I was literally like, fuck you. That was good. God damn it.
And then the other one was fantastic where it was like, ha, you thought this was the stadium series. Actually, tie dad.
Hi, Dad. So here is one just them skating by together. As we go again to Scotty screen share. Like this is them skating. That's a lot of white. Not just because there's a lot of white people on the team.
That's more white than Annapolis is normally.
Exactly. Right? So that's a lot of here's another, like this is during the blackout.
You can actually see them better without the lights.
Right. By the way, I'll just zoom in here. See these empty seats here? Look at all these empty seats.
Yeah, but that's because
Seats.
that was the third period. It was like 10:30.
It was 10 minutes left though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean that like, oh my God. Do they have an
So we
official?
have questions. It says the real question: did the Caps turn left or right? I don't get that one.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe Chris will explain himself. And then Brian says, all I've taken from this is that the Maple Leafs are racist.
Fair point. That's a good.
That's great. That's good.
But
I mean, the worst picture was the one from the press box, right? The one from like the top of the stadium, like looking down on the ice, like that one. You can't even see that there are players there.
let me see, Ted. We
when they were slapping him with their dicks. That's what it was.
It's
Yeah,
a back
yeah.
and forth motion like a windshield wiper.
Left and right is what you're
Yes.
saying.
We were lucky enough to be seated around Ted Starkey of the he's of everywhere. He wrote Red Rising. He wrote the AHL book that I'm reading right now. It's been taking me 75,000 years. Because I don't read. I'm not a reader, kids. Not gonna lie. Oh, Ted, you come in through the clutch. So here is a picture that it was on Ted Starkey's. There's the view from the press box. That's the view, and that's zoomed in too.
Oh, see, look at that. Like, you can only see the guy taking the face off because there's a logo in the middle.
Like, everyone else is like day glow, like it's like bluish. Like, it's absurd. Let me see if he's got another one. Because we were just cracking. Okay.
His iPhone. Gold Club. Greg Wyshynski's. What the hell?
So the internet was down. Shockingly enough, for an NHL event, the internet was all screwed up.
Imagine that! Holy crap!
I know. And here's a better look at that. Look at how bright that is. Like, come on! How do you get away with that?
So here's my first question, and I understand why they did this. Didn't they do this because this was like tied to the like Canadian Navy all white?
Yes.
Okay, so I get that, but at what point did somebody look at the entire ensemble and go, I feel like the white helmet and the white gloves are a little over the top?
What about the white pants?
I'd actually be completely fine with the white pants and the white jersey if they were wearing blue gloves and a blue helmet.
He should have just wore white skates too. This is the non-zoomed in version that we saw from the press box because Ted.
Yes, and that's because the ice is like a clear, almost.
Yeah. So, like this guy down here near the Toronto side, near the blue line, you can barely see him. These guys just blend in, and they still lost 5-2.
I will say I really like when floodlights at sporting events are set up correctly and the players have the 4 shadows that come off of them. Like, that's a great look. That just means that some engineer did their job right.
Yeah. Anyway, the point of this is that
we haven't even gotten into the death of games yet.
Point. Yeah. The thing is
we're kind of like stalling to see if Mark's going to show up.
I know we kind of are, because this is the time we start doing it. Anyway, we'll just get into it. We'll jump in because he showed up for the tailgate and he could give us his perspective of the tailgate. Tailgating was great. The atmosphere was fantastic. The atmosphere was fantastic. Not a sellout. 29-5-16. Not a
sellout. Nor were the NHL smart enough that when they realized it wasn't going to be sold out, just give the tickets to midshipmen to come to the game.
Yep.
And that's an extremely easy thing to do.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Capacity is set at 34,000. So not only was it not a sellout, it was not a sellout by 4,000. And like 880 tickets as of last Wednesday, like 3 days before the game, was still available. So either people didn't go to the game, they were too drunk to get in because the parking opened at 2. And I mean, just everything around it was bad, but the game itself was good. If you're a Caps fan, it was great.
The ice was fantastic.
The ice was amazingly. I was very surprised considering the players couldn't touch the ice for a bit. They probably couldn't work on it that much because of the fact that it was windy as hell. They took the glass and stuff down because of the wind. Like, this could have been a huge problem, but it wasn't. Everything went off pretty much without a hitch, aside from the power outage. Everything else was great.
It was wind, right? The wind knocked out the power, I believe.
Oh, that'd be fantastic if that turns out to be the thing. The during the anthem, the O was amazing. It was as it should have been.
It wasn't fake.
No, it wasn't.
No fake O's.
No fake O's. It was the real thing. And Jen said that's the most fantastic thing I've ever heard of. I've ever seen in my life. Because during the UND games, when that part comes up, I yell O, or I silently yell O to myself. I'm like, oh, little O's. Then yeah, like everything was great. There wasn't a big band, which part of me felt gypped. But when I hung out with Mr. Gregory P. Wyshynski on Friday night, he's like, yeah, but the thing is that it doesn't have to. There doesn't need to be this fake pomp and circumstance with these rockers who are faking to be hockey fans, and we have to interview them to see what they feel like. I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. So That was a good thing. I mean, it was great. The ice was great. Everything was great. The Navy Marine Corps
Bagpipes were playing the Top Gun anthem on the way in.
The rink looked like an aircraft carrier. The midshipmen guarded.
That was really cool.
Oh,
that was cool how that was set up.
It was great. No one knew about it. Like when we were going out and around in town, no one knew what the hell we were talking about outdoor hockey game.
No, yeah, that was it. That was it. It was just shittily marketed. It was basically marketed directly to hockey fans. And it was like, hey, if you like hockey, give us more money and come to this game.
Yeah. And I was talking to one of our buddies, Elon, and he said that like there's some people he knew that just didn't want to go because they've been broken. So their heart's been broken by the Caps. They want to pay that extra money to go see the game, even though it was a big thing.
The Caps should just ask the NHL if they can play the entire playoffs at Navy Marine Corps Stadium.
Hell, it's not going to be used for anything else. Why not?
Well, lacrosse.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they won't have the NHL. They won't have the NHL making the ice. They probably still have to get like the guys for the Verizon Center to make the fucking ice.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
So, I mean, the game itself was good. It's just I'm mad that it wasn't a sellout. I'm mad it's the lowest game, and it also shows that I think people are it was very late in the season. I think people are starting to get apathetic about outdoor games. I mean, it's not even the Winter Classic this year wasn't hyped up that much until 2 or 3 weeks before the game. The NHL 100 game was not hyped up at all stateside, which I can understand, but still, like if you're gonna market to hockey fans, you should make that thing a big event. But alas, here we are is just nothing. And I feel bad. I feel bad for the people. I feel bad for everyone involved. But they saw a good game and they saw Caps win.
Yeah. I mean, the game was good. The ice was good. You didn't have the like run up like you did with the like original Winter Classics and stuff. But it has come to the point where the NHL effectively has decided that they don't have to market these games anymore.
No. That
people are just going to go. They don't have to add any extra thought. They don't have to add any extra effort. They don't have to add anything extra to these games. People are just going to go to these games. That's the way it is.
That's not the way it is.
We want to next time we want to Brian would like to have the game on an actual aircraft carrier while it's in the ocean, and then the players have to deal with the ice moving.
I was going to say, like, the NCAA basketball already does that gimmick.
But it was in that was in a docked harbor.
It was in a docked harbor. I don't think you can, like, they would have to be paid hazard pay.
That'd be awesome.
The NHL can't afford. The NHL can't afford shit going to South Korea. You think they're going to afford that? Hell no. Great if they could, though. It'd be amazing.
It'd be a great game.
Be a very great game.
You could make that one a 4-point game.
Yeah, but I will say, of all the terrible places in Maryland to hold a game, Annapolis is definitely the number one on the chart. Jesus Christ! Like, can you have more than one lane going in and out of that entire city?
That was also a reason why I was not getting anywhere close to that tailgate before the game. No chance I wanted to go to that thing.
Like we were at Roe Boulevard, just sitting there for like 20 minutes as everyone was just trying to merge into traffic and stuff. And of course, in their infinite wisdom, the city of Annapolis didn't have people, police guys actually doing manually with
Why would they?
Why would they?
They didn't even know the game was going on.
They pretty much didn't until after the game. Like, oh wait, we should probably.
I mean, the Australian mayor of Annapolis got on, and he was talking to some of the CSN guys, well, NBC Sports Washington guys, and they were talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, it's like I just became mayor 2 months ago. It's a pretty good gig, huh?"
Yeah, I mean,
no.
No.
Is there a metro station that'll get you anywhere close to Annapolis? No, there's not.
No, there's not.
There's not. Mark with the C joins us. Mark, your thoughts on the Annapolis game?
It seemed fun online. For some reason, my computer is not letting me join the Hangout. It's very, very strange.
What?
I know. Let me try this way. I just tried by. Nope, not working. You know, I might
We're
need
having
a
a lot
reboot on
of
this
Google
bad boy.
sign-in issues tonight.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let me give her the old reboot.
Reboot.
But yeah, it seemed fun online. I mean, it seemed online. It seemed fun watching it on television. I particularly enjoyed the watch for jet blasts, something else, and flying pucks sign. I giggled at that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, what did you think about the white on white jerseys? The blinding white jerseys.
It took me a good 5 minutes to adjust. Like you're used to seeing the white ice,
Yeah.
and the ice being the whitest thing on the ice, except, well, never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
But because I kept thinking the color on my TV was off or something. Like I wanted to adjust the brightness and the contrast, but that's just how white their jerseys were.
Dude, it was amazing. Like how bright that was when they came on the ice. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Someone yelled out, "Tron's happening, everybody." So not
What
a
a
sellout.
spectacle.
It was not a sellout, Mark.
It was not?
Not a sellout.
How close was it?
29,516, so about 400 some off.
4,000.
No, like what? That doesn't make
Sorry,
sense.
no,
Why
yeah,
wouldn't
you're-
some
No, you're right.
company
4,000. It was
I
4,000.
was about to say, why wouldn't some company just scoop up 400 tickets and write it off?
Well, I don't know if it's 4,000 because 880 tickets when we said were available. I think people just passed out in their car and they didn't have their thing registered, so it's just like, oh, we can't scan your shit. So you're out. You out. But oh, and I think also they count capacity as there's a grassy knoll on the back of one of the end zones, and people couldn't sit there, but they sit there for football games. So I think they may include that. But still, not a sellout, regardless of the situation we have ourselves in.
I'm confused. I said I'm confused. I don't understand why my computer is not letting me join Google
Oh, no.
Hangouts.
Oh no, buddy. Is that the email? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, is that the email I just got too? All right. Yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was a good game. I'm just mad that no one knew about it until like 3 days before. The coverage of it was just garbage. And yeah, here we are. I think it's dead, guys. I think we can kill out the outdoor games. I think the outdoor games have run their course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you still hear me okay?
a little bit.
Okay. I'll get something.
It's fine, buddy. We can still hear you. You're no worse than anybody else.
I wonder if it'll let Lyle in.
We'll have to find out. If Lau can get in, then that means it's just Mark's computer.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm thinking maybe it might be a setting on. So my Verizon router updated. I'm hoping it's not some like setting on the Verizon router that's not letting me join video calls.
That'd be interesting.
That would be bad.
That'd be very bad for business. Don't update your router. Basically,
How did your Verizon router update? Mine did not.
When? I don't know. It could have been any time over the last I don't know, like 3 months, because I don't really check it that often.
There you go. Also, the power outage too was fun. I enjoyed that part. Yeah, overall, very good event. They organized it well. The promotion was garbage. And that was pretty much about it.
All right,
And
how
the
about
win.
now?
Yeah,
How
isn't
about now?
that yeah. Much better.
All right.
Isn't that like fully backwards than normal? Like normal, the ice is a little choppy, like there's a little dump and chasey. It's a little little don't stick handle. And the game's marketed really well, and everybody's like, I want to go to this, and everybody goes, and it's blah.
Yeah.
And then this game, the game was actually really good, but no one knew about it.
Right. They're like, we're not going to promote it because everyone thinks it's garbage. So, good question coming in here. Who asked that question there, John?
Brian.
Brian asked us, you guys concerned? Holtby's been pulled 3 times in 4 games. The only game he wasn't pulled was a Stadium Series game where he played pretty spectacular.
Although he was even shaky in the beginning of that game because that's when I was awake.
Yeah, he was not that great. I am saying right now, I am very concerned. I am very concerned with Braden Holtby.
I think this goes back to the question that I wasn't able to get on the show 2 weeks ago about Mitch Korn not being around as much as he has been.
Yeah, I mean that's a big deal too. I think that's a huge thing. Right now, Holtby is at 29, 15, and 4. 907 save percentage, 303 goals against. Yeah, that's not great. Not great. This is 2 years removed from a Vezina trophy. He was the Jennings Trophy for least goals against last year.
Well, he was on pace to win 40 games again this year.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know why he's not like. It could be Mitch Korn going to a different role, but at the same time, like, if it's almost the situation with J.S. Giguère when Francois Allaire left Anaheim, or J.S. Giguère left Anaheim and Francois Allaire didn't, and he went elsewhere. And it's just like how are you that whole thing? Yeah, that codependent on a coach. Then you can't take their teachings and move from there. Mark, as a goalie, are you codependent on a coach?
The whole Braden Holtby situation. If you remember in the playoffs last year, he had a little situation where he was facing some troubles in net, and he called out his sports psychologist in Calgary, I believe. I think this is a mental thing for him. I don't think it's I don't think it's a form or a playing style, or it's not like he needs to go watch tape of his batting stance and pull a Cal Ripken and completely change his batting stance. I think it's just maybe he sits a couple games, he gets his head straight, and then he comes back and he hasn't changed as a goalie. I am not worried about this at all.
So the bigger question then is this better to be occurring right now than a month from now?
Yes.
Like, I mean, he could still fix this, right?
If he fixes it, though, it's better.
But the whole thing is teams would have killed to have Grubauer as their backup goalie going into the playoffs, and we've had Grubauer going into the playoffs every year. I think Grubauer is a more than capable goalie to carry a team through. I mean, I'm not worried about the team. I'm slightly worried about Braden Holtby because if it's truly head games, those are harder to overcome than just tweaking his style. But Braden Holtby's always had issues with apparently head games, which is why he's such a whack job when it comes to spraying water all over the place and tapping posts all the time. So I'm not worried. Maybe he just adds another tap post or foot stomp to his routine.
That seems weird to me. That if that breaks him, I'm concerned for Braden Holtby long term. I'm not concerned all that much short term because, like you said, Philip Grubauer is more than capable enough.
Right.
If he just puts all of his change in his left pocket, he should be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Jesus. I mean, Grubauer this year, 236 goals against, 922 save percentage, just barely over 500, oddly enough. So he doesn't get goal support from his team. He helps keep him out and then doesn't get help in return. So, I mean, he is a guy who I think he's won his last 3 decisions. I fully think he's capable of making a playoff run if he has to. I'm more concerned about if Braden Holtby can't kick this. You have him for 2 more years at 6.1. What do you do? Is it time? I was talking to someone today. They think, okay, Holtby's just going to play out this contract, and they're not going to resign him, and Vinik Vanecek is going to be in there, or Sergei, or what's his name, Samsonov. It's not Sergei Samsonov.
Ilya Samsonov.
Thank you. So I was going to say Sergei Samsonov making a comeback in net. It's going to be great. So yeah, I mean, I'm very concerned with Holtby's head games, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it plays out. I think the Caps also have to play better around everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, Mark,
whatever. What's up?
Do you still have your laptop?
Mm-hmm.
You can try your laptop, right?
Yeah, I could.
Just plug the I mean, you're doing fine. You sound fine.
Whatever. I'm all right. I'd rather not have to worry about 2 different computers downstairs at the moment. This is. Do I sound okay? If I sound okay, I'm fine.
You're a little
I'm
low
sorry,
on
I'm
the.
not-
Little low. You're fine though. Like you need to put the mic.
Is this better?
There you go.
Okay.
There you
I'll
go.
somehow wrap this around my neck, maybe.
Tape it to your chin.
There we go. It's
Nailed
probably
it.
not any better.
It's fine. We'll be all right. We'll get the deep breathing. It's all right. Yeah, we'll see how Holtby goes overall. Did you hear this story? Did you hear about this? Paul Correa had his ring stolen from the Hockey Hall of Fame. 2 of his World Junior Championship rings were just stolen from the display case of the Hockey Hall of Fame. 1993 World Juniors, 1994 World Championship rings. Took place at 12:30 on February 11th, and it's just coming out now. The man entered through the spirit.
Why
of
would you
hockey
tell people about this?
I don't know. Why would you wait this long? Entered through the Spirit of Hockey store on February 11th. Once inside, he went to a storage closet that connects the display case in the adjacent Hall of Fame, which was open to the public at the time of the theft. He made off with the 1993 World Junior Championship ring and World Junior Championship ring and the 94 World Championship ring. One of the constables said it is possible that someone visiting the Hall of Fame could have witnessed the theft.
How does a place like a Hall of Fame not have 85 million cameras?
That's true.
Well, they got a picture of this guy. He's in a gray hoodie, a gray toque, and a purple jacket, and gray sweatpants.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect. He's probably a Raptors fan.
The suspect fled the scene and drove off in a rented U-Haul panel van, which you have to give your name and stuff if you run a U-Haul. Why is this taking so long?
Yeah. This seems like
because he gave him a fake name
Are we
and a
sure
burner
that-
phone.
Are we sure that this isn't like just I don't know. This seems like
Somebody was just cleaning the rings and they misplaced them,
right.
and they've now made up this story on how they're gone.
Exactly. It feels too Carmen Sandiego for me.
Right? The loot, the warrant. Sweatpant man in jail. By the way, Rockapella going to be at Ocean City this May. I just saw that on the billboard as we were driving down Coastal Highway.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope
they're
it's 90 minutes of just the Carmen Sandiego song. Actually, they probably can't even sing that. That's probably not even their song.
No, they probably have to. Maybe. It depends on how they put out their rights. Hey guys, guess what? Get hyped. Get hibbity hyped. NHL Global Series is back.
Globo Jim.
There's going to be a Switzerland exhibition. It's going to be the New Jersey Devils against SC Bern on October 1st. Germany exhibition at Edmonton against Kohler Heine on October 3rd. And then starting off the season, New Jersey will take on Edmonton in Sweden on the 6th. While in Finland, Winnipeg and Florida will play a 2-game set November 1st and 2nd. So get hyped. Get hyped for Global
It feels
Series.
the same as every game that happens in Scandinavia every season.
Right? It's the best.
I mean, shouldn't they also take these games? Like, didn't we have this discussion before? Go play somewhere where people aren't already fans of hockey.
But then they won't sell out, Mark. They won't get
South Africa?
Of course they will. Why do you think the Jaguars, the only game that the Jaguars sell out every year is in London?
Yeah, but that's our alternate home.
Because that's Jaguar football.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because the Brits love American football because they don't get it.
No, the Brits love Jaguar FC. Like they love that team.
It's true.
Yeah,
They do.
Jaguar Football Club.
Exactly. So yeah, global series, catch the fever.
I feel like they should make jerseys for those.
What? Catch the fever.
The global series is going to Chad.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
could
it'd
play
be
in
impressive
Georgia,
if they
too.
got some ice in Chad.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What
it's
if
just a
they
guy
went
na-
to Georgia? Like not Atlanta, because plenty of teams have been there,
Yeah,
but to
too soon.
Georgia, the country.
Hold on.
Too soon to go back to Georgia.
No. You move it to Georgia, and then you play half a game there, and then move the rest of it to a Canadian city. Anyway, trying to find Sean Leahy's thing. By the way, he loved the little nets. He loved the mini nets.
He did love the mini nets. I took a picture of all the goals at Laurel, Mark. We went to Laurel. We went on a scavenger hunt to look for plates, and we couldn't find them.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a goddamn shame.
But then Jen got a tour of Laurel.
Yeah, it was. She enjoyed it. She had fantastic fun on that. Saw the little rings, and we saw the little nets. Saw wee little nets, and then it was a great time.
She liked the elder skatesman.
Yeah, the elder skatesman, and also the what was it? The Jerry Hat-Tricks. There it is. Nailed it. Yeah. So that's that. Now I'm looking at a thing that James O'Brien wrote saying that one more brave move could improve the Capitals. I don't know what that brave move could be.
Yeah, in the trade deadline's over.
Yeah, not really.
What's the brave move?
Oh, putting Grubauer
in Holtby?
Putting Grey Brewery in. Yeah, benching Holtby and putting Grubauer in for the majority of the starts down the stretch. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Christ, what was I? Anyway, dog's out there. Okay. Judge dismisses the case, not the cast, of NHL linesman versus Dennis Weidman. The judge said that the case should be dealt with by NHL arbitrators. So $10.5 million ain't going to be going his way, ladies and gentlemen. So, shame to him. David Poile became the winningest GM in NHL history with his 1,320th win. 1,320 wins on Thursday. They won a couple more after that, so he's just racking up the points at this point. You're in a GM long enough, you're going to get this kind of wins. So good for him. And then the NHLPA had their players polls of the year. Boy, howdy. We got some things.
There wasn't much that was outlandish, though.
No. Fastest skater, 81%, said Connor McDavid. The second place was 3.6%, Michael Grabner. Not shocked. Skaters only, goalie that's most difficult to score on. Carey Price. Jonathan Quick came in second. Carey Price, only 41% of the votes. Braden Holtby, 5% of the votes. I don't know how that worked. Difficult player to play against, Sidney Crosby got 29% of that vote. First place, Connor McDavid, 23% of that one. Toughest player, Ryan Reeves being the big winner there, 44%. Milan Lucic, second. Underrated went to Nikki Bax. Nikki Backstrom, 8.6%.
All right, it worked. I don't know what happened, but it worked now.
It's working. We're loving it. Mark's loving it. Jaden Schwartz, 6.8% was the second place winner there. Best role model, Sidney Crosby, 33%. Jonathan Toews, 9.6% on that one. Not shocked at all.
How's it not Jonathan Toews? He's so much better of a role model.
He's got a toaster. Jonathan Toews does.
It's true.
Player to start a franchise. Who do you think, Johnny? Who do you think won this one?
Do you want to be in the show?
Sidney Crosby.
Upstairs?
Incorrect. He was second.
Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid. There it is. Connor McDavid with the wingdings. Yeah, we were going to defenseman, the most difficult play against. Erik Karlsson was first. Drew Doughty second. Forward, difficult to play against. Sidney Crosby, 30.4, just barely beating Connor McDavid at 30.1. Best team player, Sidney Crosby was 16.9. Jonathan Toews at 11%.
Time out.
Yep.
Let's go back to the defenseman.
Sure thing.
Most difficult to play against defenseman. And they named probably two of the better offensive defensemen in the league. That doesn't seem right to me.
Because they're double threat.
Yeah, but like, who did they ask? Because I feel like
they asked 500 people of the NHLPA.
I guarantee you, if you asked a forward, they would say something different than a goalie or a defenseman. And I don't know. I would like to know who the surveyed are, because I feel like it's swayed because of their offensive ability, and it shouldn't be.
They surveyed everybody who's an NHLPA member. It's a players poll, so all the membership with 500 plus players were polled. No Polish people though. No Polish people. 402 votes on the defenseman one, by the way. It looks like 100 or more abstained. Sidney Crosby, most difficult forward to play against. Best team player, Sidney Crosby went to that. Work ethic was the number one thing, and a quality of the teammate you appreciate. One game, who's the number one player in any position you want on your team, Sidney Crosby, 43.7 on that one. Do you like the way points are currently awarded for a win or loss in the regular season? 412 votes of the NHLPA membership, 77.7% said they like the way points are awarded in a win-loss scenario. Doesn't look like we're going to a 3-point system as of yet. Joined now by Lyle Richardson, Specters Hockey. Lyle, let's go ahead and jump in. We'll get to your opinions on this too, of the NHLPA stuff. Sure. I think I just opened Firefox for some reason.
Why would you do that? Anyway,
it's right next to my tab here. Okay. Coach, would you like to play for? Players said of a 267. Wow, no one really wanted to put any coaches in there. 267 players said Joel Quenneville. John Cooper came in second. Gerard Gallant third. Which assistant coach is going to be new head coach? They said DJ Smith of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they said because he's dropped 6 beats.
Oh,
there we go. Todd Reardon of the Washington Capitals was second at 7.4%.
He'll be the Washington Capitals coach.
Right. Which current player would be a great coach once they retire? 5.7% said Sidney Crosby. 4.5% said Derek Steffen. And then 4.5% also said Jason Spezza and Matt Cullen. So that one's interesting.
That is interesting.
I don't see Sidney Crosby I see Sidney Crosby as a Gretzky situation where I don't think you can pass along your knowledge of the game to other players, whereas guys like Steffen and especially Matt Cullen, who's pretty much playing a Reg Dunlap role, is being like a more of a guy who knows how to cater to people.
It's rare that great players can make the jump to coaching, and it's not, and it's as you said, it's simply because they have difficulty trying to, trying to show, indicate to players how to do something that to them as the coach seems just like what would be common sense, but what would be otherwise outside the realm of most players to be able to do.
Best referee, Wes McCulley, and it's mostly because of his calls. Here we go. Arenas and teams. Favorite rink to play in? Center Bell.
Nope.
Annapolis.
The Bell Center.
Yep, Annapolis. Yeah, the Annapolis Ice. The Caps really stuffed the ballot box on that one. Yep, Bell Center 24.8, United Center 21.9, Madison Square Garden 14.6 is your top 3. Best ice?
Bell
Edmonton.
Center.
Johnny?
Winnipeg.
Bell Center. But everyone was in the top 3. Bell Center 28%, Rogers Place in Edmonton 21%, Bell MTS Place in Winnipeg 6.6%.
Basically, most of pretty much all I would say pretty much most, if not all, the Canadian markets probably have the best ice.
St. Paul, the Wild Ice was
that makes sense too.
4, and Calgary was 5th. They only put the top 5.
So
here we go. Worst ice, and this one's surprising. Worst ice.
Madison Square Garden.
Carolina.
Lyle?
Oh, no.
Did Lyle
Jobbing.com Arena.
Oh, Jobbing.com Arena.
But now it's the Gila River Monster, or whatever.
Yeah,
Judy.
it is. Gila River is second. BB&T Center in Sunrise, number 1.
Wow, that's not. You said surprising. If you wouldn't have said anything, I would have said Florida.
Let me guess. All of the ones that are the worst are all in the southern states.
No.
Oh.
Only a couple. Only
Madison
4 of the
Square
5.
Garden's still on that.
Oh, only 4 of the 5. Okay.
Sunrise, Florida.
I believe.
Florida Panthers, Arizona Coyotes, New York Islanders, Anaheim
Barclays.
Ducks, and the PNC Arena in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Is there.
Yeah.
Which team, excluding your own, has the best fans? If you said Chicago Blackhawks, you'd be a big winner.
They win everything.
Yeah, I know, right?
The
Blackhawks,
Flyers,
Predators, Canadians, Maple Leafs, and Jets round at the top 5 there.
Yeah, I can see the Predators moving up into second in that one. Yeah.
And then we had the
They're definitely into fan interaction there.
Yeah, NHLPA 50, the 50th anniversary. They did the gimmick. Best forward of all time.
Gretzky.
There you go. Otherwise, why are we 72% Gretzky?
Yeah.
Best defenseman of all time.
Or
Mark's on fire.
I know. Well, nobody else is joining in. So
Mario Lemieux.
Best defenseman?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were still on best thingy here. No, I got a little bit of a lag here, guys. So.
Oh, that's yeah. We kind of see you jumping around here, like bipping and bopping.
Defenseman of all time? Oh yeah, Bobby Orr.
Yeah. Well, I was bipping and a bopping. Is that just me, or am I the one lagging? What's happening, guys?
It's like a 3-second lag.
Oh wow. Lyle's on like the cursing delay. That's always good. Best goalie of all time.
Patrick Waugh.
There we go. Now he's back.
Now he's back. There we go. Got him. All right. One player, current or former, would you like to have as a teammate? That's a weird question.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. Gretzky's the winner. Sidney Crosby second. Favorite player growing up. This is a tough one.
Ben Gustafson.
I did not have a vote.
No, that's Johnny's favorite player growing up. Yeah.
They're like, that's weird. Ben Gustafson got 1 vote. How did that happen?
Scotty Was. How'd you get in the NHLPA?
Yeah. Best player growing up. Ooh.
Favorite player growing up.
Favorite player going. They're back now because what's the average age in the league now? 24,
something like that.
22. I don't know. Guess on it. Sidney Crosby.
Johnny.
I'm going to say Mario Lemieux.
Mark.
I was gonna say Jaromir Jagr and try to get a laugh out of it, but Lyle went Sidney Crosby, so I guess not. It's not as funny anymore.
The answer is going to be shocking.
Been around a while now.
Yeah.
Peter Forsberg, 8.4%.
Yeah, I kind of figured it had to be one of the guys in between Jagr and Crosby, and that Forsberg.
Yeah.
Top 5: Forsberg, Yzerman, Sakic, Lindstrom, Mats Sundin.
Wow.
Swedes very well represented in that.
But they're all right around that sort of 90s, early aughts sort of period, aren't they? Yeah. That would that makes sense. That makes sense now.
Yep.
Still a lot of guys who were born in the early 90s, kicking around the league now. So late 80s, early 90s. So yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, I try to think about the fact that I'm 35 now, or almost 35, and I would be one of the older players in the league, and they would be the guys that I would have watched when I was growing up. So it had to have been somebody.
Yeah, but they could have also been your team. Yeah, but they could have, if you were playing, could have also been your teammates too, or you might have played against them when you started your career.
True.
Because if you're 35 now, right, or going to be 35, that means you would have your career 15 years ago.
Oh man, I'm so old.
Kind of are.
Why am I on the show with all these old farts? Jesus Christ.
All right, let's get to the pick'em segment. Kumja is the segment.
Kumja, hey.
Johnny's a big winner. Lyle in second, Mark in third. I was last. Yes, PHL for the year. Johnny 177. I'm at 167. Lyle 153. Mark 133. As we get into college playoff time.
Woo!
So there we go.
I'm getting close. Okay.
We're getting there. We're getting to the grind here. Playoff weekend this weekend, at least for UND, and it's a do or die weekend because if they lose, they're probably not making the tournament. So it'll be the first time in like 15 years they hadn't made it. All right, I'm gonna go first, and just because it's tradition, I'm gonna go Vada Ur Fleur. My favorite Swedish chef team in honor of Peter Forsberg. Next,
so who is it again? Valder de Fleur. Okay.
Vada Ur Fleur. Bork. Mark.
Oh boy, Kumja.
Mark.
Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Let's see here. There's the Wikipedia, and oh no, they don't list their coaches. What am I gonna do?
Wow, they don't. That's kind of weird.
I'm gonna go with the Drummondville Voltaires because they play in the Marcel Dion Center.
Nice, that's a good one. Lyle.
Okay, keeping with the wrestling theme, I'm going with the Titantron.
Nice. Bathurst is off the board, and then Johnny.
There's only one team in this league that has characters that are the same, and I picked them every time so far. So I'm going to change my team up, and I'm going to go with the Moncton Goldie Hawn and the Wildcats.
Nice one. I like that.
It's a good one. I like it. There you go. Pick them.
That's a what was it? It's a that one is a 7 front and an 8 back.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very
so close.
Yeah. Oh, guys, bit of breaking news, by the way. Like seriously, really honest to God, serious breaking news. Ron Francis has been named president of hockey operations for the Carolina Hurricanes. The Canes will conduct a search for a new general manager. So Ron Francis has been kicked upstairs.
Well then.
Have to wonder, did his inability to land scoring help for his team have anything to do with that? Because the Hurricanes are their playoff hopes are fading now, and that
would you give him a promotion?
No, that's what happens. He went and saw the Bobs.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, remember the Florida Panthers did the same thing. Dale Talent 2 years ago kicked him upstairs, right? They don't want to, you don't want the bad optics of firing. A guy who was a big part of your franchise for all these years. Well, beforehand as a player, and now you bring him in as a general manager. So you let him save face and you move him upstairs.
Kind of weird. Kind of a weird situation.
Yeah. Well, people were wondering if Francis was going to make a move to, bring in any scoring help at all. If he was going to draw on any of his defense to bring in some scoring help, and didn't do it. Apparently, from most of the speculation I heard, he wasn't entertaining offers for any of his defensemen at all. I don't even think he was even really initiating any talks with anybody for score. So, yeah.
And I guess it makes you wonder, like, how high is the price for a scoring defenseman, and do they want to pay the price? If Ron Francis thinks it's better to not pay the price for future gain, like how can that be a strike against them? I don't understand. That's what I kind of don't understand.
Well, but you got to look at the situation. Look at the situation where the Hurricanes are in right now. Okay, I mean, the last time they made the playoffs was in 2009. Ron Francis was brought in to try and change that, and I mean, the team has made some improvement. Situation where they absolutely need, they needed to add a scorer going back to last summer, and all the talk around the league among the pundits was they're going to have to go out and get a scorer. They got plenty of depth on their blue line. They can afford to go out and get a good young scorer. They didn't have to go get somebody, an older player on a fading, or a fading player on a bad contract. They could have gone and gotten themselves, and there were deals to be had out there if he was willing to do them, but he didn't. And now you got a new owner there. And he's looking and he's seeing a team that's quite frankly fading because, Ron Francis refused or simply couldn't, make the deal to address his team's most pressing need, and that was for a goal scorer. So, that's why he's being kicked upstairs.
Yes.
And then another something else here too. The new GM in Carolina will report to the owner, not to the president of hockey operations.
There it is. That's all you need to know.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
It's a cush gig.
No confidence vote right there.
That is exactly what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and here's something else interesting. In his 4 years as Hurricanes GM, Ron Francis did not make a single NHL player-for-player transaction.
Wow.
And so this is coming fast and furious, dude. So now if I think that answers your question probably better than anything I said. I still maintain that it's because he couldn't bring in a scorer, but yeah, that's the biggest strike against him right there.
So and what Johnny, did he do?
He did nothing.
No, I mean he did bring in some players. I mean,
Scott Darling.
He brought in Scott Darling. That was a gamble that didn't quite work out. Maybe he'll bounce back next year. I don't know, but that didn't quite work out. Brought in Teuvo Teravainen. That was a move to try and help the score. And to his credit, real quickly, as quickly as I can make my aging fingers move. Here we go. Teravainen, 19 goals, 52 points in 67 games, very respectable numbers, but not a sniper. This is a guy who's more of a playmaker, and that's their big problem. They don't have a proven sniper on that team. They don't have an Ovechkin or a Laine or somebody that can light the lamp regularly. A lot of playmakers, no snipers. So, yeah, and just the fact that he didn't make a player-for-player swap when everybody was expecting him to do it over the past year, especially, again, when he had the depth of talent that he could draw and make it happen. There you go. That's the biggest reason why he's now in a ceremonial role now.
So. Can he hang out with Greg Sherman now?
That'd be great.
Yes. He just got voted to Greg Sherman Island. You've heard of Robidas Island for the Maple Leafs, which is where players on bad contracts go because they're injured on long-term injured reserve with floppy bunny ears. No, this is now Greg Sherman Island, and that's the home for misfit general managers. Greg Sherman Island.
That should be a new NHL award.
Best cardboard GM.
Yes. You have the best GM award, but then you have best GM cardboard.
Yes.
The Greg Sherman award.
We do, and
you get a fax machine.
We do golden fax machine. We do a thing on in the draft.
Golden fax machine.
In the draft show, which was we have our in the draft awards. We almost have to do a face-off hockey show awards. It would seem. Create our own topics and go from there.
We could do that.
I think so.
We could do that in the summer.
Hey, Lyle, is there something running in the background? Because at least to me, I don't know if it's you guys. You're kind of jittery for us, and I mean, we might be jittery to you too. I don't know.
Like you guys are jittery to me as well here. I don't know what I don't have anything like I'm just on Google. I mean, I got a couple of windows open here, like Twitter, but that's it.
Oh,
here, if you want, I can drop out and try and log back in again.
Yeah, that sounds good. And if we can do that, that'd be
okay. Let me.
Be right.
Yep. Let's try this again. Okay, dropping out.
There he goes. That son of a bitch. Like he drops out. Like when he. Anyway, was that just me, or was we having?
No, it was the same. I didn't know. So what occurs with YouTube is that quite normally what happens is YouTube somehow gets all of the information together in one piece, even when like I'm not seeing things or something. So I just assumed that YouTube would have all the video or audio anyway, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. So,
all right.
But if it was happening to all of us, then everybody was getting it. So
because he was just kind of stuttering in and out, and
everybody on the live chat was saying that Lyle was going in and out.
Okay, so he's back now. We'll see how it goes.
How about?
Oh, that's way better already.
That better? That better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? YouTube is a piece of garbage.
Everybody's been having issues with this tonight, though.
Yeah.
Like Mark's been having issues.
Well, I saw that with the email there that when you sent the link and then he shot back and said it wouldn't let him in. So
we've had something with our private Vox about this. It's been weird. It's a weird night. It's a weird night. What day is it? The 7th. Oh, there it is.
Oh, well, there you go.
We're a week away from staking a BJ day, guys. So get ready.
Okay.
Don't you dare miss it. Well, we had a thing on our Patreon, and I like to get Mark before Mark dips out of here. The scores of the NHL or the premier guys in the NHL that are not getting covered enough. And this brings up to me because Braden Point has been lighting the world on fire. I don't think he gets enough national attention. Patrick Laine probably gets enough attention in Canada, but I don't think stateside he doesn't get enough attention. Is there any other guys that you think are underappreciated by the media as a whole?
Oh gosh.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they're underappreciated by the media, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I probably have never heard of them.
All right, fair enough.
I haven't watched enough hockey to know all the under-the-radar rookies, especially.
All the under-radar... hang on, let me just...
I'm going to say, and this is probably a long shot, but I'm going to say that whenever the Flyers show up on CSN Washington, I really enjoy watching Provorov play.
Yeah,
I think he's really good.
Yeah.
I think he's somebody that no one really ever hears about outside of the Flyers regional broadcasts.
I think you could almost go as far as saying Wayne Simmons still doesn't get appreciated enough by the national media.
That's probably well. I mean, at least he gets marketed though. A lot of times, these like rivalry games and stuff. He's one of the people that's on that the pickup.
That's true.
Ryan says Backstrom.
Well, he was voted most underrated player by the NHLPA.
Yeah.
But this year, I don't think Backstrom has had that great of a year. He's been very hit and miss for some reason.
He's been much more defensive this season.
Yeah.
Just scrolling down through a list of players here. How about Colorado Avalanche sophomore Mikko Rantanen?
Yeah, I think Mikko Rantanen is definitely a guy who doesn't get enough press. But I mean, I think that the Avalanche as a whole don't get a lot of press.
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks to Nathan MacKinnon, I mean, they're starting to get a little more notice. Of course, it's mainly Nathan MacKinnon, but and I'm sure it's tempting for people to go, well, if it wasn't for for MacKinnon, Rantanen would be nothing. But I think that's kind of I mean, he's on almost a point per game clip. He's got like 64 points in 65 games. That ain't nothing. And last season, I mean, he had 20 goals, 38 points in 75 games. That's pretty good, especially on a Navs team that really sucked last season. So, yeah, you could make the case.
They're finally coming out of the doldrums now.
Yeah. So yeah, you could definitely make the. I think you can make the case for Mikko Rantanen.
I'm just trying to think about just
Vincent Trocheck with the Panthers. He'd be Alexander Barkov.
Yeah, Barkov absolutely
with the Panther. I mean, he is really taken off this year. He's and part of that he hasn't been sidelined by serious injuries. He was really hampered earlier in his career with knee injuries and things like that. But this season, yeah, he's just been lighting it up, and he's I think the biggest reason why the Panthers are battling for a playoff spot now when people were writing them off a while ago. I mean, it helps that Roberto Luongo's returned, obviously, in goal, but you got to give it up to Barkov. I mean, he's been in beast mode for the last 2 months.
Yeah, I think Huberdeau also doesn't get as appreciated as people should appreciate him.
Yeah.
I think Huberdeau is more of a
Huberdeau.
I think he seems like a McKinnon-esque person in terms of a guy who goes through, like, you forget about him for a while and then he just bursts back on the scene with his ability he's used to. I also find it interesting that I look at their roster and I see Evan Dandinoff and it has the Soviet flag next to his name. Like that throws me. Like, wait, what?
What?
Because he was born in '89, so he still uses the Soviet flag.
There you go.
Because Maxim Mamin, I almost want to call him Maxim. He has the Russian flag, and he was born in '95. I'm like, oh, that throws me off completely.
Here's another one. Anders Lee, New York Islanders. 52 points this season. 31 points in 67 games. I mean, he gets overshadowed a lot by Tavares, and of course with Josh Bailey as well, having his big year this year in a contract year. But Anders Lee as well. 27 years old, putting up.
And
some
I
good
mean, let's
stats.
be honest, he's going to be the next captain once Tavares walks. It's going to be a great time for him. Overall, boy,
Ricard Raquel with Anaheim, perhaps another one.
A little bit. I think.
I think he's gotten a lot of press this year for not hockey related.
Yeah. He has for charitable thing, but still, yeah. I mean,
I would almost put
28 goals, 56 points, 62 games.
I would put Silverberg on there because we all thought he was going to Vegas. And then he's not having the best year, but I think he's a guy who can definitely turn it on when need be.
How about the year that Carlson's having in Vegas? My God.
Oh, William Karlsson, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, but I mean that wasn't a case of like a guy who's been at least putting up good numbers the last 2 or 3 years before that. I mean, he really came out of nowhere. Not that he was a bad player. I mean, I thought that their selection of him in the expansion draft was an excellent pick. I like, yeah, this guy, he'll go in there, center their third line, excellent choice, good two-way player, but holy cow. I mean, he has really taken off, and he's actually garnered his fair share of press this season.
Can we all agree that Carl needs to chill out on all the children that he has playing in the NHL? I mean, there's too many Carlsons.
Yes, far too many. Well, of course,
I'm
there's
getting confused.
There's a crazy, super talented one, Eric, and now, of course, William, who's gonna, suffering from little brothers.
And then you have the American that changed his name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, the Caps have two Carlsons in their system. That's gonna be fun if the other one be called.
I wanted to ask you guys really quickly too. There was Elliot Friedman reported last week that also at Erik Karlsson as well before the trade deadline. He didn't know how they would have been able to pull it off because they didn't have very much cap space even to take on either guy at their current right now. And considering what the asking price was for Karlsson and what the Lightning wound up giving up to get
McDonough
from the Rangers. Yeah, I really don't think they would have been able to. What do you guys think of that, though? I mean, is that something that, because that's not really a rental player. Both those guys had like a year left on their contract. Would that be both a pickup that would help them if they had managed it this season? And maybe looking ahead because John Carlson's going to be a UFA, and maybe that would be kind of like insurance in case he tests the market. What do you think?
They would have had to give up way too much to get Erik Karlsson. I don't think that's. Plus, they had to give up stuff already pick wise in the offseason because of their salary cap issues, right? So, yeah, no.
Because let's be honest here. If they got Erik Karlsson, you're pretty much waving goodbye to John Carlson at that point, because if you want to re-sign Erik Karlsson, you probably have to part with just to make the money work. It's almost like you have to part with Kuznetsov had to be gone.
Yeah.
And maybe Eller.
And Brooks Orpik.
And well, that's fine.
Only if you take Bobby Ryan back in return.
Right. And that's
see the devil's bargain there?
See, if the Caps get rid of Brooks Orpik and bring back Bobby Ryan, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because here's what it would be. This would be a blockbuster and all blockbusters, because it'd be Karlsson and Ryan coming from Ottawa, and then Orlov, Orpik, Kuznetsov going the other way just to make the money work. and then the future monies as well.
Like I think if they were looking into it, I don't think there was maybe not with a whole lot of seriousness, or at least it was sort of like due diligence. You pick up the phone, you call, and go, yeah, listen, here you're shopping them. What are you looking for? What's your asking price?
Yeah, don't you ask the
find
question?
out what it is, and they go.
It's kind of like when that brand new driver comes out. That new Titleist driver shows up on eBay and you put in like a $12 bid, even though it's like a $700 golf club. Like I feel like that's exactly what occurred. Like, and you're like, hey, I was in on it. Like,
yeah, it's true. For a brief shining moment.
Literally what I see this as being. Like DMBM called. I'm sure he called. Right?
Yeah.
You have to call.
Yeah, you have.
Yes, you do your due diligence.
What was it really? Like you called and he's like, oh, okay, that's what you want. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Talk to you this summer.
Like a 3-minute call, and there wasn't any exchange. It was probably he didn't even get through. It was probably like, here's what we expect for Eric Carlson.
Automated message.
Would you like to go? Would you like to continue? Press 1. Like, I mean, there's no chance he even talked to anybody.
No. Pierre Dorian
I don't
lounging
see
back
that as
with
work.
his phone to ring.
Now, I do see
Yeah.
McDonough being a better option for the Capitals, but I don't know how that even works.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how you make that happen.
Well, again, you still got a free roster or cap space, and so right off the bat, it's not enough to just say, "Well, we'll give you Madison Bowie and here's first of all, why would the Rangers want Brooks Orpik? They wouldn't, because they were looking for a younger player. So you'd have to give up something more than that. Plus, I mean, look, they gave up 2 draft picks, one of them being a 2018 first rounder, which, correct me if I'm wrong, the Capitals don't have this year. Or do they have their first rounder this year?
They
gave up their first round pick last year in the Shattenkirk thing. Yeah. So, but still, you'd be looking at giving up your first rounder in 2018 and 2 prospects, another draft pick. So, yeah, I don't think that that's possible.
Oh, well, Caps, you tried. Wait till that cap goes up, though.
What happened with the whole
Cha-ching.
Mike Green thing, though? Did the Caps just not want Mike Green back, or was that like was that like smoke and mirrors?
He got hurt. He had that neck injury for the final 2 weeks of February, and from everything I read about the his situation, yeah, teams were interested, but that neck injury, if he hadn't been hurt, he would have been dealt.
Isn't McDonough hurt though?
Pardon me?
Isn't McDonough hurt?
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he
got a
hasn't
knee
played
injury.
for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah,
yet.
but yeah, he's expected back this week.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, again, what works in his favor, though, is that he still has another year left on his contract. And let's face it, his trade value is much higher than Mike Green's at this point.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
So, but yeah, had Mike Green not suffered that neck injury, he would not be with the Detroit Red Wings today. He would be playing somewhere else.
It's a damn shame. Damn hell-ass shame.
But hey, he might end up. Listen, the Red Wings reportedly are interested in re-signing him if he's interested. I think maybe he goes, okay, you guys just hold that. Let me, when July 1st rolls around, just hold that. Keep me in your thoughts. Don't erase me just yet. Okay. I'm just gonna make some calls and we'll get back to you in an hour. Okay. Just let me know and we'll get back to you in an hour. Because that's usually how that works on July 1st. Well, he'll know by then anyway, because of course there's that brief window before the free agency period opens. We can talk to GMs can talk to unrestricted free agents. So he'll probably know by July 1st if he'll be staying or going. If the Wings are the only one making a decent offer for him, yeah, he stays.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
can't take that much.
He wants to keep playing.
All right, Mark, do you have to skedaddle?
Yes, I do. Lyle, it was good overlapping this week.
Yes, it was.
Good seeing
Yeah,
you.
good seeing you, bud.
Yeah,
and the little guy as well. He's spread like a weed.
He's a big one now.
Yes,
he'll be skating in no time.
There you go.
Yeah, your shake weight keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, my arms aren't getting larger though.
It happens.
Yet. Gotta build them guns up, bud. Gotta build them guns up.
All right,
buddy.
Well,
Okay,
I will
man.
see you guys.
Take care, Mark.
See you next week, bud. There he goes. Mark with a C, everybody.
Yeah.
Had a question. Prime era Gretzky. You plop one in today's game. Does he make it? Does he make it on? Do you think he makes it on a roster and still has the type of production he has from his past?
Well, the game's changed since he was in his prime back in the 80s, but he would still absolutely make a difference, especially given how today's game is starting to go back more towards smaller skill players. Remember, Gretzky was a wiry guy. I mean, he wasn't, why do you think he was very 6 foot guy? Nobody. I definitely think with his vision and his skills, yeah, he would still be an impact player in today's game.
See, I didn't know if we could make this on the show, so I had already given my answer in the chat itself, and I actually said that Gretzky wouldn't have the impact that he had. At that
not
time.
like he did, no, but
and that was it's for me. It solely stems from the fact that, to me, Wayne Gretzky skated better than anyone else in the league. He was decades maybe ahead of everybody else and their skating ability at the time. But now everyone in the NHL skates like that. So I saw him maybe more as like a Backstrom type player right now. Still smart as all
which
hell.
isn't a bad,
maybe not super fast. Putting up good numbers and whatnot. But maybe not the top league scorer. Maybe not. That type of thing, but yeah, that's how I've always seen Wayne Gretzky. Is like I loved watching him skate. Like that's what I remember most about watching him play, just the way he skated.
The one thing Gretzky had above everybody else, though, was the way he saw the game. He saw the game completely different than everybody else did at that time. Which is what made him such a generational player. I mean, he was like Bobby Orr in the way he changed the game. Because now players, you need a greater sense of anticipation to play the pro game now, and a lot of that is because of Gretzky. I mean, as I said, he saw the game. He had a better sense of anticipation of where the puck was going to be, and that's why you watch a lot of those games, those great games that they had back in the 80s with the Oilers. And the thing that always struck me about Gretzky was he wasn't somebody like say a Bobby Orr or a Guy Lafleur or a Mario Lemieux, where the puck stayed with, you know what I mean, and they made those end-to-end rushes, and I was always drawn to them. For me, the thing was with Gretzky was he had this uncanny ability to me that he seemed to disappear from the play. You know what I mean? He'd make the pass, and all of a sudden it was like you didn't see him until the puck was in the net and he had scored. He'd seemingly come out of nowhere to pick up the pass and score. And again, that came down to his sense of anticipation. He knew where the puck was going to be. Pardon me?
And those Maple Leafs jerseys. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yes. Those are, oh my God. Were they as hard to see live as they were on TV?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, the jerseys matched the Leafs performance. Invisible. That's my take on it in one sentence. Not to take anything away from the Capitals, because they definitely deserve that win, by the way. But that was the Leafs shit the bed on that one. That was just not a good game.
No, they didn't. You would have seen it. You would have seen the streaks.
You would have seen it on the pants.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. But see, and that was a thing that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to do, though, when you're talking about, well, could this player from this generation play well in today's game? In some cases, no. But it's so hard to say, because Gretzky changed the game. The same as Bobby Orr changed the game. So, if to say, well, if you put them down in their prime, how would they do? Well, obviously they wouldn't do as great as they did back then, because by their very nature, they were so much better than everybody else in the way that they played the game that they changed it.
Scotty,
so now they'd be playing the game that they changed.
I'm going to go to the other side of this coin after you talk about
No, I'm
this.
done. I'm babbled. I'm done.
Scotty, do you have anything?
About... There were like
about
7
Gretzky.
No, my thing about Gretzky, I think it wouldn't be. You're not going to get 92 goals and 215 points.
No,
you're going to.
Right, I said that. Yeah.
You're going to get point per game guy. I think that's about it. Go ahead with your other side.
Yeah, no, so the other side of this coin for me is that I see Eric Lindros being a better player now than he was when he played in his era.
I would agree with that. Absolutely. Absolutely. The way that the game has changed now as well. I mean, where there's obviously less headshots and things like that too. I mean, that's part of it. But the way given how he played the game, and for a guy his size, to be as fast and as strong and as skilled as he was, I would definitely agree with that, Johnny. I think that he would be just as much of an impactful player as he was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gretzky or Lindros would have been as effective. I think he would be a little bit more wise to the situation too, going through junior. That would probably, because I think the junior ranks are better than they were in his day, because junior ranks, it seems like everything's more competitive, whereas there's not one guy dominating. You have it few and far between, but it's not as if one guy is just completely dominating in the whole situation.
How about Mario Lemieux in that regard? Saying that big guy, fast, skilled, incredible skills. What do you think?
I feel like I feel like Lemieux's tough, because I feel like Lemieux played in that Gretzky era where there was hundreds of points scored every season.
But he also, when he staged his comeback, though, that was right in the midst of the dead puck era. And if you look at point per game that he was putting up, like, that was sick. Like,
even after cancer.
Oh my God! But even then, I mean, 2005-06 when he finally packed it in. But I mean, he was hampered obviously by injuries and that, because of course by that point he was in what I think his mid-30s or something like that. His body was, wasn't as strong as it was obviously when he was in his 20s. But you look at that he was putting up during that stretch back in 2000, 2001, 102, and so on. I mean, they were still far superior than anybody else on the ice at the time. And if it wasn't for injuries, I really think he would have been challenging, if not perhaps even winning the Sword title again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think he could have also been just as impactful.
I would think so. I think that what changes today's game versus the game that's in the like late, I guess, I don't know, around that Scott Stevens Devils era, is that blindside hit that was a huge hit at the time is now massively illegal.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, probably should have been at the time anyway.
And I also think the scheme that teams play don't allow for that vortex situation that Scott Stevens was known for. Like the trap hockey, the trap hockey has gone away, which is what really lined up Scott Stevens, hitting abilities, because when you have a trap situation, the guy coming across the middle has the wings on both sides, pretty much narrowing him to the center, and then boom, Scott Stevens walks in there. So that style of play has gone away by and large. I mean, sure, John Cooper implemented every now and again with the Lightning, but I mean, it's not as the dead puck era. What was that? That wasn't Cooper. That was, what's his name? Scarface.
That was Boucher.
Boucher. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I don't think it's as
Scarface.
Yeah, the Lightning, when it was a 1-3-1 situation when the Flyers, when Chris Pronger and his defensive partner.
Yeah, that was Guy Boucher.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think it's that scheme of play is no longer an element, and I think that would also help out a lot, because the blindside hit is not as prevalent as it's still there, but it's not as it's not considered a clean hit, because here's the thing, the NHL doesn't know what the hell goaltender interference is, so how the hell are they going to know what a clean hit is?
I know, yeah. Just circling back very quickly on Lemieux. 2000-2001, when he returned to action, in 43 games, he played half the season, 35 goals, 41 assists, 76 points. Had he played the entire season, he would have been at the top or near the top. It was Yager, by the way, that year with 121 points, who won the scoring title that year. His final great season, if you will, in 2002-2003, 67 games, 91 points. That placed him 8th in league scoring that year.
Wow.
91 points. The winner of the scoring title that year, Peter Forsberg, with 106 points. So Lemieux was not that far behind. So that's why I'm quite comfortable making the argument, thinking that I think Lemieux is just as dominant today.
So we're kind of thinking that some of the bigger players, the 6'5" players, 6 foot whatever,
well, if you can play with speed,
big and with that speed,
yes,
type of thing would be the ones that are really good now. But like the kind of like really good skaters and such, probably not as much anymore because everybody are really good skaters now.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, it is difficult, because as you said, with Gretzky, as I was saying before, because he changed the game so much, and he was so dominant because he was playing a style of game that nobody had played before. So he had an obvious distinct advantage. Whereas now you would say, okay, teleport him in his prime into today's game. Well, this is a game that he had helped change, and everybody. As you said, it's far more competitive. He would still be a damn good player. There's no question about it. He would still, I think he'd still be, Gretzky in his prime would still be a star in this league, but would he, as Scotty said, would he be getting 90 goals and 200 points? No. No.
But we don't even see people that get like 110 points anymore, really.
I know. Yeah, I know. Part of that's the system. Part of that, though, is system. A lot of shot blocking and, goalie gear is crazy, stupid. Yeah, the goaltending gear. Goaltending, but also to be fair, the goaltending ability is much better too.
Yeah, absolutely. Much more athletic, those goaltenders. They're not flailing around.
Yeah.
Speaking of Carolina Hurricanes, another breaking news from them: they're letting fans be in their team picture this year. Apparently, they are holding a contest to give diehard fans a chance to be in this year's picture, earn a spot right behind the team, so they can enter it in, and they'll be selected.
Insert joke here.
So you have to register. Winners will be allowed to bring one guest. Picture will be taken March 23rd.
Actually, I'd have to think that probably wouldn't be too hard to do, because it already has to be a pretty wide picture anyway. But if you could get people that sat like in the seats behind them in sections, you could probably get like 2 sections of people and like halfway up, maybe 4 sections of people like halfway up behind the players. Like that would be pretty cool.
Well, they have something already mocked up, and we'll go to the Scotty screen share on this one as we are wont to do. There we are. So they basically have it mocked up here, where they'll be able to get 3 sections of fans, probably about 10.
Oh, that's kind of
neat. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I hadn't even seen that.
I like that, actually.
Pictures. That's my ability to take pictures. I could figure out, know where they were going.
Figured it out. And then Ron Francis will be there awkwardly. Like, oh.
He'll be cut out at the top. He'll be right at the top of the section and cut out of the picture by accident.
Exactly. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I realized it was weird because in that picture, Eddie Lack was the goaltender, not Scott Darling.
Ooh, that is weird.
There's some weird times. So there we go, kids. You got it. You got it right there. You can be in the picture. Teams and players that didn't make moves at the deadline. We talk about, obviously, our Carlson didn't move. Is there any team that didn't make him? I mean, obviously, Ron Francis just lost his job over it. But I mean, is there any other teams out there that you were surprised didn't make a deal when they should have or could have?
Islanders. The Islanders. I was expecting them to either bring in a goaltender or a defenseman, an upgrade, like not just, obviously not just anyone, but you know what I mean? If you couldn't get a decent goaltending upgrade, I really thought that they maybe, would have gone out and tried to get themselves a defenseman, but yeah, that kind of surprised me that they didn't make any significant moves. I was really expecting that from them. And of course, as I said last week, I was surprised at the Blues as well. The Stastny deal. When the Stastny deal went down, as it turned out, afterwards, I guess GM Doug Armstrong, he was trying to use that pick that he got from the Jets, and try and flip it to see if he could get himself a forward, but he just couldn't find a suitable deal. They were talking, I guess, with the Senators about Hoffman and the Habs about Pacioretty, but obviously nothing came through. But still, that kind of surprised me because the Blues are still so close to being, as a playoff team. I really didn't see them kind of waving the white flag on the season, but oh well. Let the chips fall what it may.
Is Pacioretty done in Montreal?
Yes.
In general,
I seriously, I think they're going to move him this summer. I really do. I mean, it's an awkward situation. I mean, you know, he's 29. He's going to be 30 this year. You know, he's heading. He is going to be a UFA next year. You know, he's going to be looking for a long-term deal and obviously for a big pay raise. But are you going to be willing to plunk down that kind of money for him? If you're the Habs, especially if it turns out that maybe you're looking at rebuilding. You know, I would say if the Habs decide, yeah, we're going to have to tear this down a bit, if we're going to really suitably address our needs, then yeah, I think Pacioretty's gone. Then again, it's Bergevin. Who knows? He could surprise us and they could re-sign him and everything could be hunky dory. But honestly, I really do think that he's going to move him. He's the best trade chip Montreal has, and if they want to try and bring in a couple of pieces that's going to help them out now and in the future, he's the guy to move.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
What do you? Any other players you were surprised at? Because we didn't really talk too much about.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that Carlson didn't move just because that asking price was huge. It was just, it was huge.
It was border wall big.
I was surprised that Hoffman didn't go from Ottawa. I was expecting them to ship out another player after they traded Brassard. I really thought, okay, well, the mini yard sale begins. But they didn't really get what they wanted. But I think though he's a guy the teams are definitely going to circle back on this summer.
It would have been funny if they traded Duchesne.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Montreal could use a center.
Right.
Oh. I was a little surprised too at Anaheim. Anaheim kind of played a little quieter, I thought, this time. I was expecting them to make a little bit bigger splash. I mean, you look and the Kings brought in Phaneuf and then Tobias Ryder, going after Evander Kane, and that made me chuckle. The Sharks were the only team to make a bid for him,
right?
Yeah, for Evander Kane after all the talk of no, it's like Evander Kane he's got an image that needs an overhaul big time. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if he plays well with the Sharks, re-sign him before the summer. I think that'll increase interest in him. But as I was saying though, with the Sharks getting Evander Kane and the Kings making the move they did, I was a little surprised that the Ducks, that they didn't look at doing any deals. But there you are,
There you go. I don't know, Lyle. You got anything else? You got any?
No, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah, we're getting
pretty much good because I know what's coming.
Playoff time, baby.
Oh, we don't have a game this week.
We might not have a game this week. We might not. We might not. Hold on, Johnny. Fill time.
I understand. I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say that Wayne is new to our chat here. He chimed in and said that the Canes have done the picture thing in the past.
Oh, have they?
Did they?
Yeah. He said that
I was not aware of that.
They did that in past seasons. So that was cool. And that means now people are being added to the chat during the show, the live chat, which is fantastic.
It is. It's good to see.
I like that.
Please, folks, feel free to jump in, man. Toss us some good hockey questions, and we'll do our best to answer them for you.
What I always like during the trade deadline every year, I don't care who gets traded. It's of zero consequence to me. It doesn't
unless
matter.
It's a Capital.
I'm a Capitals fan. I don't even care if the Caps get people. But what I find more fun during the trade season is all of the stories that come out after the trade deadline that are like, hey, we tried to get that guy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I tried to do my job. I just wasn't able to.
I just want you people to know I really tried.
I
You know?
love those stories. Like,
Like,
I'll
listen.
read every single one of them.
It's like, listen, I'm Doug Armstrong, GM of the St. Louis Blues. Now, yes, I traded away Paul Stastny because I thought the team needed a shakeup. Now, I really tried to bring in some scoring up front after I traded away arguably one of my best playmakers. I really tried to bring in a scorer, but I just couldn't get it done in time. So, sorry. But I tried.
Ladies and gentlemen, on October 6, 2000,
Oh, God.
a new era was brought about. The Minnesota Wild came running wild. They played the Anaheim Ducks and lost. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, I apologize. In this edition of Haha Fuck You, name the Minnesota Wild and Anaheim Mighty Ducks of this game. There are, spoiler alert, 36 skaters and 2 goalies combined.
When was this game?
This was
Again,
October 6, 2000.
We didn't do this before, did we?
I don't think we have.
No, we haven't done the Wild yet.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We're gonna start off with this new haha fuck you. It's a lightning round.
Lightning.
Next week will be the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lyle, go first. Anaheim Ducks or Minnesota Wild?
Anaheim Ducks. This is in 2000. Okay. Paul Correa.
There it is. One off the bat.
That's a layup. That one's easy.
It's easy.
Yep.
Johnny.
J.S. Giguere.
Sorry. Fuck you. J.S. Giguere not in this game. Fun fact: 2 players are still playing.
Oh, that is interesting. Wow, that was a long time ago, eh? That's what, 17, 18 years ago now.
Oh, yep.
Holy jump. Okay, next one. Hopefully another easy duck layup. Teemu Selanne.
You're right.
Those will be the only 2 I get tonight.
All right, Gianni.
Matt Cullen.
Bing, winner.
Oh, nice one. Nice one, Johnny.
Right there. Had a goal.
Yeah. Awesome.
Now
that was with the Wild, right?
Incorrect. That was with the Mighty Ducks.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm trying to think who was on defense back then. I should know who that is. Oleg Tverdovsky?
Hey, Oleg Tverdovsky on the board.
Wow.
You guys did pretty well for yourselves. No goal just yet.
Honest to God, that was a stab in the dark because I was trying to think of defense because I can't think of any more forwards.
Holy crap.
All right, Johnny.
Wow.
Let's see. 2 are still playing, huh?
And you got one of them.
I know. That's the only reason I got Matt Cullen.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. EC Jokinen.
Incorrect. Sorry. Fuck you.
Okay. Now I'm thinking Ducks goaltender. Geehy Bear?
Oh, on the board with Lyle. Lyle's just running away.
He was still with them? Wow.
This isn't even fair.
Jesus.
No, it's just Lyle's just running roughshod on this right now, Johnny.
Well, because I'm going with Ducks. The Ducks are easy for that year.
I don't know. I don't even know
2
who
layups.
the Wild goalie would be. Was the Wild goalie Manny Fernandez?
He did not play in this game.
Oh, but he was on the team, right?
I think he was at that time.
I think he was. Damn it.
But he did not play in this game.
It was so close.
Back to Lyle.
I still want to stay in my safe zone there with Ducks. Stu Grimson.
Fuck you. Nope.
This is why Scotty capped it last time.
Yeah, no. Johnny.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with the other half of the goalie tandem then and say Dwayne Rollison.
Fuck you. Nope. Not even Dwayne Rollison was not on this team.
Damn it.
I have no clue who would have been on the friggin' Wild that year. I should know, and this is a whole bunch of nothing.
I'm just goalies that I know from that era.
Hang on.
Okay.
It is my turn. I'm sorry, John. Is it my turn?
Your turn. No, it's your
Is
turn.
it- oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't want to jump all the way. Okay, you're saying that it's okay. You're saying that there were 2 players that are still playing, right?
That's correct, sir.
And he already and Johnny got one of them. All right. So there's one left. Okay, this is the only guy in the Wild that I think, because I think he's still playing today. It's Marian Gaborik.
Boing, there he goes. Marian Gaborik, the other active
That's the
player.
only. I know that they drafted him that year, but I thought he started the next year.
No, he played that year. Got a goal. Got the
He
only
did
goal
play
for the
that.
Wild.
Okay.
Jeez.
Oh, okay. Auspicious start. He was the only person when you said 2 players. It was like, okay, Gaborik's the only one I would have thought. But yeah, I thought that he started the next year. He's the only guy on the Wild I know of that played that year. The only
Johnny.
I know that this isn't right, but I'm just gonna say Mike Dunham.
Sorry, incorrect.
Can I add Leland Irving in then?
Sorry, incorrect. I don't think either of them played for the Wild. So, no, that's a lie. Leland Irving played for the Iowa Wild.
Yeah, I don't know who the Wild goalie is.
Wild happen.
I only know of only one more Wild player.
I'm out. I'm out.
Johnny, who's the last Wild player you know?
The only other Wild player I know is Andrew Brunette.
Sorry.
Oh, come on, really? Not even Andrew Burnett?
Nope. I think he was on the Thrashers
Oh, okay.
at that point.
Who was it?
Because he was with he did
Yeah.
join the Wild later. He scored that famous goal at
20
retired Patrick Roy.
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Minnesota Wild. Something called a Ladislav Benisek.
Actually, I used that when I hurt my back one day. I rubbed some Benisek cream on
There
the
you
back.
go.
There you go.
A lot.
Brad Bombardier, Jim Dowd,
But you had a hell of a shot.
right?
Bombardier.
Aaron Gavey, Matt Johnson, Sergei Krimikrasov, Philip Kuba,
Sergei
Ante
Cream of
Laxinen.
Kraboff would be better.
I know, right? Curtis Lecision, Jeff Nielsen, Sean O'Donnell, Scott Pellerin, Stacy Roost, something called a Lubomir Sekaresh, Cam Stewart, Maxim Sushinsky, and Wes Walls.
There's
Wes
a lot
Walls,
of food on
nice.
their team.
The
Yeah.
goaltender, Jamie McLennan.
Oh,
Noodles.
Oh,
Noodles.
there's no chance. I would have
Noodles.
never gotten that.
On the
And isn't
dock.
it insane to see how shitty these teams were when they
Yeah, I
had their
know.
expansion drafts?
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, it doesn't get any better with the Ducks. They were anti-alto, actually. Dan Bielsma.
Was he base?
He was. Matt Cullen, you guys got Jim Cummings, Nicholas Havlid, Paul Correa, you got Ladislav Cohn, Mike LeClaire, Jason Marshall, Marty McGinnis, Andre Nazarov, something called a Jonas Ronquist, Ruslan Saleh. Guys didn't get.
Oh.
Teemu Solani, you got German Titov. Patrick Traverse, you guys got Tverdovsky, and Vitaly Vishnevsky with Guy Hebert in net.
That's a whole lot of who cares
That's
on that
what
roster.
a fucking terrible.
It's interesting though. I didn't
Wow.
realize that European Kevin Hatcher played for the Ducks in Ladislav Cohn.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, I'm assuming that's what it translates to.
European Kevin
Hatcher. So
That's the rough translation.
I'm just assuming. I'm assuming that's what it translates
Good
to.
one. That's a good one.
I like that one. Yeah, the European Kevin Nash. He's gonna come up with the European something or other for
All
for
European
other
team.
Yeah, European.
That was a
Kevin
good
Nash.
one, Scotty. That was a good one to be off the cuff. I liked it.
Yeah. Next week I'm giving you guys a truly haha fuck you. It's gonna be a Lyle's era. But
Uh-oh.
I don't even think Lyle could get this one.
Yeah, it depends on the team.
2001 2 Shattuck St. Mary's team that
Yes.
played in Laurel Gardens.
That was the 0203 team with Mr. Sidney Crosby.
I tapped
on the
before
roster.
we even began.
The under 17
Done.
Shattuck St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna go after couple of teams there from my era, huh? From my
I might have to go ahead and might have to go against the game of the Kansas City Scouts and the Washington Capitals. That roster.
Oh my
74,
God!
75.
Oh my God! That's horrible. The horrible.
I'm just gonna say.
my
I'm gonna
God.
say it right now. Even if I wanted to cheat, there's zero chance I remember any of it.
There you go.
So, actually, I think I know like one cap or two.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Get ready for that one.
Oh,
Get ready for that one, kids.
I'm not gonna cheat. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not going to cheat on it. I'm putting it out of my mind, and then Scotty will drop it on me next week, and I'll be like, "Oh, fuck this!
Damn it, why did I not think about this?
Why didn't I at least do some homework on this shit?"
Well,
but hey, what's the fun in that? You gotta go in cold.
As Lyle puts out like a 2-page article this weekend about the first game the Capitals have ever played.
Exactly.
Watching the Annapolis game this weekend reminds me of back when the Caps first debuted in 1974 against some team called the Kansas City Scouts. And now,
actually, it was
everybody wore onions under belt.
It was game 11. Game 11.
Oh, game 11.
Game 11, and the Caps shockingly lost. 5.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
5-4.
Oh boy.
After we can parlay this, haha, fuck you, into which number game cap was the first win for the Caps.
Oh,
because that
God.
I couldn't figure out either.
Yeah.
Because they only had 9 wins that whole year.
7.
7.
It was 7. Okay, it was even worse. Okay, that's still the
I'm sorry, they were 8-67 and 5.
8-67.
8.
That's still the worst. That's still the record, I think, for the worst. Is it not?
Yeah.
The Senators
I will
gave it a
say-
run.
I will say it this one is the first win for the Scouts was this game.
Made them feel something big.
You know? Hey, there you go.
My first
There you
pick
go.
for next week will be Eagle. I think he played for the Scouts.
There you go. Perfect. Loud's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll talk to you again next week, sir.
Talk to you next week, guys. Take care.
There he goes.
Wow.
Just poof. He gone. Audio
He was
issue.
very max headroom tonight.
He was very max headroom tonight. We'll see what we can do about that. Johnny, shoutouts.
The live chat was fantastic. I feel like the 7 o'clock hour, the 7 to 9 crew is the way to go. That half hour was screwing everything up, I think. So we had a good number of people on the live chat tonight.
Good.
Good stuff. Give a shout out to Scotty and Jen staying at my house. They left me some fries, some Coke, and some yogurt.
They're drinking Coke, folks. Let's not.
Yeah.
I
Can you
could be-
imagine how much money I would have to spend in order to buy Coke for this nose?
I know, right? Good share.
And yeah, shout out to Piney Orchard.
Nice.
Glad it's still there. We got to skate, which was fun. Haven't skated in a while. We got to see the popularity boom of curling. Everybody was walking out of the National Curling Center with their brooms. Oh, it's fantastic. I think that's about it. I think I'm good.
I would like to give a shout out to Johnny for being a gracious host this past week. We appreciate it. Shout out to Waterbeds because we get back in our bed. We're just like, well, we got to buy a waterbed now. Shout out to the live chat.
Was it really that good? Like I've only slept in the waterbed for a week.
It was all right. Like it wasn't that bad at all. Like it helped our aching bodies, that's for sure. But it was kind of weird because every time you rolled over, you woke each other up. It's kind of just like, ugh.
Yeah, and that even has the tubes too. It's not just the one bladder. So
yeah. So
I will say that the week that I slept in it, I like would roll and then the water would like splash to one end and come back and hit me in the butt. And I was like, whoa, what? Go it. I was like, just water. Damn
yeah,
it.
It's like I'm at the ocean. Shout out to Jen's Ocean Adventure. She loved it fantastically. It was a great week seeing everybody. Appreciate it. If I didn't see you, well, next time, deal with it. Make sure there's not a hockey game going on, so I don't have like 4 days booked off to that. That's it. That's really all I have. I had a good week, and now I have to go to work, or not tonight, but later. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. So for Johnny P, Mark of the City, I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself and someone else. Has been Face Off Hockey Show, faceoffhockeyshow.com. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/faceoff hockey show. You can be like all the people there get mentioned. I already gave them a shout out. I Twitter the page down, so I don't and have the names up. Sorry guys, but I love you all the same. Patreon.com/faceoff hockey show. Twitter, Faceoff HCKY show. Facebook, FOHS Radio. Until next week, kids. Peace.